To Nigeria, where the Nigerian Economic Summit Group has called for a collaborative effort to tackle inequality in the country. The Chief Executive Officer of the group, Loaye Jaiyeola, made this call in the nation's capital in Abuja while speaking to newsmen on plans by the group to hold its first gender summit focused on gender policy innovation that will birth a more inclusive society. Jaiyeola says that Nigeria must put more effort in trying to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. News Central's Amadin has more in this report.
According to the 2021 World Economic Forum report, Nigeria ranks 139th out of 149 countries on the Global Gender Index. Data further reveals gender inequality when assessed on a per capita basis could lead to a wealth loss of over $23,000 per person. With an estimated global loss of about $160 trillion in human capital, which is approximately about $26 billion, it is evident that Nigeria, like many others, needs to bridge its gender gap. Gender advocates at this press conference in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, expressed their concern over Nigeria's low gender ranking.
If you take the agri sector, you always talk about the women being involved. But the fact of it is that at what point, to what extent are we really getting them a lot inclusive? While they are not involved when it comes to how far you get the production from the farm to the farm gate, the fact of the case is that when it comes to all the value addition and all the things that has much more enhancement and riches, we are not involving our women enough.
Nigeria ranks poorly, like we've heard this morning, on the Global Gender Equality Index. And if we do not think around collective action and ways we can synergize to come up with a solution for the current state of issues relating to gender equality in Nigeria, we're also not going to do well with achieving the SDGs, because we know that gender equality is a key accelerator of the Sustainable Development Goals.
They revealed plans by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group to hold its maiden edition of its Gender Policy Innovation Summit. They said the summit will seek to rally stakeholders to ensure that Nigeria achieves gender equality by 2030.
We see what donors and implementing agents are all doing around this same issue. But for us at the NESG, we believe that a multi-sectoral approach is required to connect the dot, which is one of the things that this seminar is aimed at.
You grew up in a home where a boy is viewed as the strong guy and then the girl is viewed as a weakling. That mentality would sort of translate to how you begin to see male and female when you come outside your home. So we thought that the GS22, which is the Gender Summit 2022, the first of so many we hope to host, will bring together cutting-edge research and policy and practice from a wide range of organizations. So,
gender advocates say gender inequality affects both men and women alike. They say Nigerians from marginalized communities are also not left out, as they too suffer discrimination. From Abuja, Amadin, News Central Television.
Very important conversations to be having. We do know that gender equality is conversations that we're having around the world, and the United Nations, of course, wants a breach in that. We're talking about this off air, and how before COVID, the gender pay gap, for example, it was said that it would take 100 years to breach the gender pay gap, but after COVID, it's increased to 135 years. So we do want to see more inclusive conversations that talk about breaching that gap between both genders.
I totally agree, and unfortunately, in many places across the continent, this is really caused by different traditions and religious factors here and there, yes, that need to be put on the side for now. Religious
and cultural. I think in Africa, part of what holds us back is the cultural beliefs, like that woman was saying, but did not try to adequately. I mean, we didn't capture all of what she said, but the highlight of what she was saying is from the way we're being brought up. The girls are being brought up to view life a certain way. The men are being brought up a certain way. I'm telling you, even as an adult, I went to see somebody who was a leader, a former political leader, right? I went to see him with my colleagues that were guys. And I remember him saying to me, what are you doing there? Wouldn't you stand up and go and serve the men? You know, so it's how we are being brought up and being raised, even till today. We're still seen as subservient.
It's a lot of cultural
inhibitions.
Yes, you know, and a lot of people grow up in that way, and so they get into these offices and put those same cultural thinking and traditional thinking into their decision making and work.
Absolutely.
Workplaces, yes.